another episode of Popcorn Heroes. Today, guys, we're going to do a solo review, spoiler-free episode where I'm going to talk about the game Control, a game by Remedy, makers of Max Payne, Alan Wake, Quantum Break. And so I know this game came out last year, but now that we have some downtime with the quarantine, I've been playing some games in my back catalog, some games that I just want to just finish, and so Control is one of those games. I just wanted to say I played it through PS Now, which is a service that you can stream games. I just wanted to say that just in case if anyone who wants to play the game but doesn't have it nor the funds to play it, you can currently download, currently have PS Now for 7 days. They have a free trial for 7 days, and after that, it's $10 a month. If you're wondering how, yes, you can download the game, so you don't have to just stream it. If you have a PS4, you can just download it. If you have a PC, if you want and you want to play it, you can also play it on PC. On PC, you have to stream it. For those who have a PC and want to stream it, it actually runs, in my opinion, pretty well. The colors and the graphics are a little bit muted, but gameplay wise, it ran pretty well. This game was not optimized for the PS4, as I said. Like sometimes I've seen some reviews where they said like it had a lot of glitches and bugs, and it kind of does sometimes. It has like it skips a couple of frames when things are going a bit crazy, when things are like very hectic in the game. But other than that, like it's still an enjoyable experience. I streamed maybe the first 4 hours of the game, and then I downloaded it. So I streamed maybe like about a quarter of the game without it having any major problems. So I do recommend you guys play it however you guys want on PC or PS4. But nonetheless, let me jump into our review. Me and Mike are going to probably do a spoiler cast of the game, so look forward to that. And so yeah, so Control is basically a game that takes place in a government building called the Oldest House, and basically the government has an agency called the Federal Bureau of Control, where they pretty much investigate supernatural current events in the world. In this game, they're called Alter World events, and it's basically a reality shaped from the human unconsciousness. Think of it like a different dimension or another universe. And so the Oldest House is a place where reality and this other dimension of the human unconsciousness collide. So it's a building that looks relatively normal, like a regular office building. And then there are locations and places that are literally altered by like shifting pieces or shifting walls, because the other realm is interacting with that place. So you play as Jesse Faden, who at the start of the game essentially becomes the director of Control. And so you're in Control. You're basically in the bureau because you're looking for your brother named Dylan, who 17 years ago was taken by the bureau, and you don't know why. And so you're just there to investigate You're just there to find him or locate him, and yeah, and things unfold in that way. It's a pretty trippy game. I don't really know how else to describe it. It's a game that dives deep. There is a lot of jargon in the game that can be kind of confusing, but it deals with basically the unconsciousnness, like, and it deals with basically like what do we perceive as reality, and it's all like that alone. What we see perceived by reality is clear in the game, where you'll walk into a room and then the room shifts and walls move and there's one moment where you turn on a light switch and you're in a different location. Like, so literally reality is altered constantly in that game. And it's pretty trippy. I'm not gonna get, like I said, not gonna get too deep into spoilers, but for sure, if you're into games, narratives like Fringe, X-Files, anything that has to do with like deep sci-fi, like this is definitely the game for you. As for combat, like this is one of those games where I felt like it's one of those. It reminds me of Infamous, which is a Sucker Punch game that there's one Infamous Second Son, which is on PS4, but you just, like in Infamous, you're a superhero basically, or like an anti-villain, and so you just play as that. But in this one, you're more of a, you're not a hero nor a villain. You're just someone trying to see through this mystery of your brother. But it's one of the games that I felt like did the best job of playing as a superhero. Like I felt truly like powerful. I felt like I didn't think any power was ever wasted. Like you can levitate in the game, you can dodge, you can like literally grab the ground from the floor and use that shield. You can throw objects back at people. And so it's just a very fun and kinetic game. I do like the story is somewhat linear. It is somewhat an open world game. You'll go into sectors of the building, and you can move within those sectors. And you can move like through different floors and up and down the bureau. But it has a straight narrative to follow. You just have to just go there. I think I would have preferred this game to be a little bit more linear in that sense. I'm sometimes not someone who like pays attention to like the world map, so I got lost a few times, not know exactly where to go, and or I would miss like an entry, and I just keep going, keep walking, and then thinking like, okay, well, maybe it's upstairs, not downstairs. So I did have to like YouTube a clip or two to figure out what I had to do in certain parts of the game. So I think more linear structure would have been more it would have paid off more, especially with a game that's so narrative driven and so story driven. I think a linear structure would have paid off a lot more than an open world structure, just because you don't have time for lollygagging or like just exploring, and so the narrative keeps coming at you, and there's no downtime basically. But overall, this game won IGN Game of the Year, and I haven't played a lot of Game of the Year, critical games of the year of last year, or 2019. But after playing this, I could see why it won. It is such a fun game, such a compelling story. I was so into the story that I really had to see it through. People are saying it's about 10 hours to beat, 11 hours to beat. Remember, I got lost a few times, and there was a moment where I died maybe like maybe 10 plus times. So there's a few moments that I had to constantly play back. So I probably spent maybe 12 to 15 hours playing the game. But you can get through it within 10 hours, supposedly. But yeah, overall, it's a fun game. I really enjoyed it. I think if you're a fan of third action games, I think this is up your alley. If you're into gameplay-wise, if you're into Infamous, then this is the game for you. If you like sci-fi, X-Files, Twin Peaks, this is definitely a game for you. Like I said, me and Mike are gonna do a spoiler review of it, so we're gonna dive deep into what we think of the whole narrative. What do we think about the characters? This is definitely a huge game to unpack, a huge game that has several different metaphors, several different meanings, and I can't wait to sit down with him and discuss what he thinks of it. But yeah, if you guys like that, please give us a listen. We have episodes up right now on the PS5 controller. We don't do that much game podcast episodes because we don't gaming is a lot to consume, so it's hard for us to like consume a whole game, and not all of us play the same things. So yeah, but look forward to that. We're going to do an episode about streaming. We're going to talk about PS Now, Game Pass, Google Stadia. So a bit more gaming content is going to come your way, but those of you guys who like our shows, we review shows and movies, we're still going to do that. So look forward to that, guys. So thanks for listening, and we'll catch you on another episode of Popcorn Heroes.